Hey everyone, so I'm kind of pissed off right now because the microphone port on my A7R3 just stopped working for no reason. Like I didn't drop it or get water in it or anything, it just stopped working. And I had this camera for 2.5 years and I actually just made a video talking about how great the camera is. But the microphone port just broke on it, so I have to like send it in for repair now, and we'll see how long it'll take, and like I probably have to pay a lot of money. And this happened right after I just got a new lens too that we're gonna talk about right now, so let's get into it. Alright, so besides that negative tone at the beginning, we do have a new lens, which we're going to talk about why I chose the Tamron 17 to 28mm, which was honestly one of the hardest decisions I had to make when I was buying a lens, because there's so many different like ultra wide angle lenses out there for the Sony system. Including this lens that we got right here, we got a total of 7 different lenses that are in this ultra wide space for the Sony cameras. For some reason, I don't know why, but let's open it up. Again, I'm opening it up right now, so I don't have any experience with this lens, but I'm gonna tell you guys the reasons why I chose this lens besides the other ones. So let's start opening this up, which I don't have a knife either, so I'm gonna, oh my god, I just dropped the 70 to 180mm Tamron lens, which we're gonna get into it. But I'm with this lens. First of all, let's start with the first reason. I finally, got the triple threat completed. We got the 28 to 75, 70 to 180, and now we have the 17 to 28mm. So we got all the focal ranges covered pretty much. So that's gonna be the first reason. Let me try should I use fire to unbox this? I'm not gonna do it. It's cardboard. I'm not gonna do it. I lost enough today. Lost the freaking mic port, man. Which again, like for professional stuff, I usually either use my FS5, which has an XLR port, or use our external recorder, like I'm using right now, like the H5 Zoom or whatever it's called. But like for some situations, I just like putting like a Rode Mic Go on it. Besides, doing like a whole complicated setup. So that's really annoying. But here, let's open it up. And I got the, what is this again? Altura pack of it. And that's one thing that, if you guys don't know, is that if you buy from a lot of like stores like B&H, Amazon and stuff, a lot of times, let's say for example this lens is $899, you can usually find like different packs of like different like vendors that sell these things where they just throw in free stuff with it. So that's one of the ones I bought. I believe it comes with like some lens cleaning stuff, but it's just mainly comes with useless shit that I'll go over at the end of the video because no one cares about it. But it just comes in for free, so I just said, what the heck. Yeah, it just comes with some, I think this is like a cleaning kit. I'll just put that in the bag. I think it comes with like some like air backpack or something. I already have one of these, but I just could never figure out how to actually use it. So I don't know. Maybe we'll figure it out. But here we go. Wait, what is this? Okay, it's for the airbag thing. Here we go. Let's just throw this box out of the way. But we got the Tamron 17 to 28mm right here. Look at this beautiful lens. Also, I'm shooting at S Cinetone right now on the A7R3, so let me tell me how it looks. S Cinetone is actually not on the A7R3, but there's like a color profile that people are using that seems to give like an S Cinetone look. So we'll see how it looks. This video is not color corrected at all. This is just straight out of camera look. So let me know how it looks. But okay, so we got 6-year limited warranty on this, which is great because my camera doesn't have that warranty. Because if it did, I would have been able to get it fixed for free, so that's cool. But let's open it up. But let's get to the second reason why I got this lens over the other ones, which is the price. I mean, this is $899, and so it comes with some serial number. I guess I shouldn't be showing that. I don't know. And some instructions that we're not gonna need to read, because who reads instructions? Come on, it's a lens. We're professionals over here, and that's pretty much it. It doesn't come with much else, which is kind of, I mean, I guess they do it to keep the cost down. But if you buy it from like At least with Sigma, if you buy it with Sigma lenses, you know, they usually come with like a nice like lens back for it and everything. So, but it's fine. We bought it for the lens itself, not for some cheap bag. But here we go, boys. Oh my god. Put the box away. We got the 17 to 28 millimeter. Let's take a look at this baby. Oh yeah. God, I feel like I get like more excited about like actually like doing stuff with the camera gear than like actually like using it and doing work with it. But I got this lens mainly for here, let me just put this away. Oh god, I'm showing everything. Well, I pretty much got this lens just for doing real estate, and I guess I'll be doing like landscape and just like straight photography and stuff like that also with it. But I mainly got it for real estate, which was the trickiest part about this lens, because this is 17 millimeter, and there's like a lot of debate going on online of like, is 17 millimeter wide enough for shooting real estate? And from what I've seen, you know, one thing that I will like recommend you guys do when you're trying to decide which lens to get is that go to Flickr and just look at the pictures that people took with this lens. But also another thing I did was that on Flickr I just wrote real estate, so I started looking at real estate pictures. And the cool thing about Flickr is that it'll show like what camera people use, what shutter speed, and most importantly what focal length people were using. And a lot of the shots that I did like were like in like the 20 range, like the 22 millimeter. So I felt pretty confident going with a 17 millimeter lens. And the thing is that if I find myself, you know, having the 17 be not wide enough, I also have this Samyang 14 millimeter lens right here, which I absolutely hate this lens. I mean, this lens is just, I think I got it for like $200 or something. It's complete dog shit. It has like zero contrast, zero sharpness. It's manual focus, so it's like really hard to focus with that lens because it's just, first of all, it's not sharp, and everything is kind of in focus already because it's a 14 millimeter. So I hate that lens, but if I do need to go wider, I do have the option with that lens. So let's compare this lens to the other Tamron lenses. So let's put the little hood on it. It's adorable. Here compared to the 28 millimeter, it's like slightly smaller. But then we got the, oh my god, can I fit all three of these? 180 right here, and oh my god, look at this beautiful triplets. We got the Tamron triplets right over here, guys. How beautiful. My Trinity is filled. And the cool, so let's get into the fourth reason. Actually no, we're on the third reason. The third reason I got this lens is because it's all internal zooming. So as you can see, when you turn it, it doesn't zoom out or in. It does do it in the, like from here. Like you guys can see it, like from here, it does internally zoom in and out, which is fine because I'm actually gonna be using this as my main gimbal lens. So for that stuff, this is gonna be amazing, you know. And the cool thing about the A7R3 is that when you're shooting with it, you can go into APC mode and you can still shoot in 4K resolution. So this will become let's see if I can do it. I think it'll become like, what the fuck is the half of 17? It's 8.5. So if we add that, so it'll be 25.5 to 42 millimeters. So it can go from 17 to 28, and if you put on APC mode, they'll become 28. No, not 28. 25 to whatever. 25 to like 42 millimeters. So you get a lot of different ranges with it when you're doing video with it. Of course, you can also do it in photography mode, but there's no real point to using APC mode in photography mode unless if you're just trying to keep your file sizes low. So let's actually switch to the lens. Right now I'm using the Sigma 35mm f1.4, so let's switch over. Okay, right now we're on the Tamron 17 to 28mm and we're at 28mm. So let's go to 17 and boom. Oh my god. Jesus. Look at that. We're so look so far apart, and I can get super close to it, which is the fourth reason. Let's talk about this lens, why I chose this lens over the other ones, is that because this lens has macro-like capabilities that other lenses don't, where you can still get close with the other ones too, but this one you can get even closer. Like I could like put this like right up to it and it's like, look at that. This is like almost like touching the lens right now. I think that's in focus, right? That's pretty ridiculous. I mean, That's pretty great here. Let's go back to 28. A little better looking focal length. But yeah, I mean, that's one of the big reasons, because a lot of times when you're doing video and stuff, you know, being able to just get close up to the object and just making everything behind it just blur out, you know, looks amazing. So that's one of the reasons I also bought this lens. Now the fifth reason why I got this lens is because of the size and weight. Now this is one of the things that Tamron has pretty much mastered, that people don't give them enough credit for. Like, a lot of people, when they think about the Tamron lens on the Sony, they just think that, oh, it's the cheaper version of like the Sony GM lenses. But that is, I mean, it is true. Like, for example, this 28-75mm is like half the cost of the Sony 24-70mm, but it's also like the half the size and weight also, and you get like pretty much the same amount of quality. So it's not really a cheap version of that lens. I mean, unless you're just talking about the price of it, but it does have other features that, you know, the Sony GM doesn't have, especially if you compare it to the 70-180 to the 70-200mm. Like, there's a big amount of differences between those two lenses, where I actually chose this lens over the 70-200mm, not just because of the price point, but also because this lens also has like macro-like capabilities like this one right here. I just slapped my mic, hopefully that didn't destroy the audio. But also just because this is like so much, this is literally half the size and weight of the Sony GM lens. And, you know, when you're doing stuff like how I do, like I do a lot of events, sometimes I work on movie sets where, you know, it's normal to work like 12 to 14 hours a day. And, you know, just having like 2 pounds of difference makes a huge difference, you know, when you're carrying your camera around for like 12, 14 hours. But now if you go over the list of other lenses that you could buy for Sony, like first of all, we'll start out with the 16-35mm 2.8 GM lens. One of the big reasons I didn't buy it is just because it's so much more expensive. Like, I got this lens for $900, but the GM version is like $2,200 or something. Like, it's a lot more money, and you in both lenses you get like around the same like focal length, but it's like more than double the money. I just can't justify paying that much money for it. And also the filter size is another huge deal, because between all three of these lenses, the 70-180 is 28-75, and the 17-25, 17-28, they all use the same 6-7mm thread. So you can use the same filters on all three of the lenses, and that's a big deal. Especially, it just makes your life a lot easier. You know, if you're going hiking or whatever, you don't have to bring like a bunch of different sets of filters or anything. So that's a big deal for me. And if we compare it to the 16-35mm Zeiss f4 lens, that one was I was actually considering that a lot, because that one actually has optical image stabilization, so it will help with your just stabilization in general a lot more. But it's a little bit more expensive, and it's an f4, so it does have a way better focal length. You know, it's the 16-35 besides the very limited 17-28mm. But I think I just thought that it would be, first of all, the filter size is also different, so that would have just given me a headache. It's an f4, so I do a lot of video shoots, you know, where I'm shooting, you know, like inside of a restaurant or whatever, where the f2.8 becomes really useful. And then there's the Sigma 14-24mm lens, which honestly I kind of want it, and because first of all, I love Sigma lenses, like the Sigma 35mm f1.8 lens. I fucking love this lens. This is one of my favorite lenses of all time. In my opinion, Sigma probably makes like the best image quality lenses for the Sony cameras, you know. In my opinion, they're better than what Sony's making themselves. But again, it's the filter size. It's a lot heavier than the 17-28mm lens. And I just felt like, you know, when I was using this 14mm lens, is that I don't really like the look of the 14mm. I never liked the look of like an ultra wide image. So 17mm, even that feels a little wide to me, but honestly I feel like I would just get by with 17mm. So I didn't really want to get a lens that's, you know, it's a little bit more expensive. I think it's $1,400, and also it's just gonna be a lot heavier, and I'm gonna need like a different filter set for it also. And then we have the Sony 12-24mm lenses. One of them is 2.8 and one of them is f4. The 2.8 was just out of the question because it's like, you know, I think it's like $3,000, so it's a lot of money. I'm just not willing to spend that much for a lens. And 12mm just looks way too distorted and weird in my opinion. You know, even though you're capturing more stuff when you're shooting real estate with it, I feel like it it's just not an honest lens. You know, the house doesn't look like that when you walk inside. It'll make the house look huge, and then you walk inside, it's just like a New York City apartment, you know. So I feel like 12 to 24 millimeter just isn't for me. And also, again, you would need a whole new filter set, and the 12 to 24 millimeter f4, like you need to get like a thing that you put in front of it, and then you need like a matte box, and then you put your. It's just too complicated. I feel like the 17 to 28 millimeter would just make my life a lot easier, which is something that I focus a lot more nowadays when I'm, you know, trying to get gear that, you know, that's just gonna make my job easier. Besides just focusing on like, oh, the image will be a little bit sharper, but like, does anyone actually care about this stuff, you know? So whatever, you know, that's the reasons why I chose it. Honestly, I might not like this lens, you know. I'm just using it just right now, you know. When I go to edit this video, that's when I'm gonna see footage coming out of this lens for the first time, so we'll see how it is. Hopefully the autofocus is good on it right now, because I heard that you had to update the lens for it to like work properly. Apparently there was like some haunting issues with the lens before that they fixed with firmware updates. So if that's a problem, then, you know, that will be fixed once I update the lens, so that shouldn't be a problem. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye. Okay, if you're still sticking around, I'll unbox the extra stuff that came with this camera. So here, we'll start out with this. I think this is just like cleaning cloth stuff, which is fine, you know, you could always use more. Here, let's see what it came with. So, it smells a little weird. What the fuck? It kind of smells like a new plastic, but it's like musty. Okay, so it comes with this like hand grip thing that I don't know, I don't really get this. The wrist strap. Honestly, it might be kind of useful. But I don't know. It's interesting. I never tried it. I already gotten like one of these before, but I don't know, it might be useful. But here's some lens cleaning stuff, which the blower is my shit and I keep losing them, so it's good that I got more of this. And this pistol grip thing, I have one of these, but I just could never figure out how to like open it up, so cool that I got another one. We got some fiber cloth, and we got more fiber cloth. So just a lot of lens cleaning stuff. Oh, it's like a pack of it. Oh, that's cool. Okay, so we got a lot of cleaning stuff. I like that. Always could use more. And then we got this airbag thing that I don't really get. Here, let's open it up. Yeah, it's an airbag. So I guess you're supposed to just fill these up with air. I don't know. It's just like I'm like too lazy to like do this. Just like it's like, what is this? Oh my god, it's a whole backpack. Alright, it just turned into a whole backpack. I already had one of these because like I got in like the whatever this company is called. I got their like packets before, but I don't know. I could never figure out how to like. I guess you blow on it and you fill it up with air, and then you can like put your camera gear on it. I don't know, but it's cool. It's free, so I'm not gonna complain too much about it. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye. I can't even do it. It's too wide.